Okay, so I was really disappointed in this one. I was really hoping this was going to be really good. It is not as good as I was hoping it to be, and I was thinking it was going to be a lot more scarier, even more creepier. Like, it's not as creepy as I was thinking. So a lot of the problems with this game is very bland. The story sucks. It's stupid. The characters, I don't care about any of the characters. They're dumb. Really, the only thing they got right was was the combat. The combat was cool, and it was fast paced. It wasn't slow combat. I wish there would have been a bigger skill tree. I wish there would have been more abilities to work with. A lot of the stuff there, you don't even really like. There are side quests there, which the side quest I do like how they do have a different kind of ideal like purpose. So it's not just the same regurgitated thing. So that is really the only thing it has going for it other than the combat. Um, I was having issues with the FPS. It kept dropping for no reason. And it did that for like a while. And eventually, when I got through, like, you get through halfway through the game, and then it just smooths out. Um, it suffered from, I don't know why they didn't put, it felt like there was like no life in here, which I guess that is the point, kind of the point of it. But like they could have put like actual people that weren't like turned and like demonic, because all the creatures that you fight in this game used to be people. Uh, some of the designs looked kind of cool, and then there's others that kind of just looked like they ripped off Slender Man. I mean, they were still cool looking because Slender Man is cool, but I think that's mainly what they were going for, is that like tall man kind of thing. I thought the villain was pointless. The whole the plot is basically, okay, there's a bad guy, let's save my sister. That's the plot. Like, that is the most generic, watered down plot like ever, because they didn't take time to really flesh it out. And also, I don't know if it was a bug or if it was how they did the audio, because it seemed like they were trying to go for KK being inside you as like two people, so almost as if he's like talking to himself, that's in the other person that's inside him. And because you hear his voice, and then it gets quieter. So I don't know if they were intentionally doing that to make it seem like it was a more inside kind of communication thing, or if the audio was just bugged and they just never fixed it. Because that's kind of how it came across, that the audio was like fucked up. What else? There's energy all over the place, which that does come in handy. It is kind of easy to get like energy. The blocking thing was kind of cool. Like you kind of put up like the shield, but the art style was cool. Some of the art style in it was neat, but really it was empty. Like, you can grapple to the roof. You're either running around on the ground or you're up on the rooftops, and then they have little segments where it gets kind of like trippy, and you're like this like detective, and you get thrown into this situation. But there's not enough there to really keep you interested. Probably won't ever play this again. I don't really feel like I want a sequel. If they do make a sequel, then we'll see if they made any improvements. But I don't really see them continuing this story. It kind of just wraps itself up. Boss fights were way too easy. It was very just cookie cutter. Yeah, then eventually, like, it also feels like it's 3 different games. So it starts off as like this kind of like interesting, unique kind of game, and then you get towards like the middle of it, and then it's like turned into the most generic, empty game. It's almost, it goes from like being a cool, interesting game to an Ubisoft title. But and then you get to a part where like the main story, just they don't have any more main story missions for you. They just want you to go around and do the side quests, which they're cool if you want to flesh out those and do all those. And those are actually more interesting than I would say like the main quests. But then you're just going to cleanse all these areas. It's basically like Far Cry, where you're running around getting all the towers, or in like Assassin's Creed, where you're just going around and finding all the Eagle Dive areas to scan. That's really all it is, and that gets really boring. Like that put me to sleep. I really was not enjoying myself at that point. And like by the time the game ended, I was kind of like, oh, thank God it's over. Credits rolled, and I was just like, oh, I was so happy it was over. So my score for this is, unfortunately it's going to be a 5. Like it was so disappointing. I don't know why it was so empty. I don't know why it was so generic and cookie cutter. There really is no like skill in it. The only thing that really is like different is if you're throwing the fire at the umbrellas, because those are what disintegrate the umbrellas. So you kind of need to like swap that out every now and then. But it's either you're firing the green energy, you're firing the fire, and then you got these wind shots, and those are really you can hold them and it'll do more damage, but it uses more of your energy, which you can just go to the floating miscellaneous objects that are flying around. You could just bust those and you'll get more. They have shops there. Money's kind of useless because it's just to buy stuff like that. And I guess they have some kind of mission board thing, but really it doesn't really do anything. It's just more of a collecting thing, which doesn't really help the game. But I don't know. It just wasn't the game that I was hoping it to be. But yeah, so it's a final score is going to be a 5 out of 10. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.